preparation for that. Maybe unconsciously I was, putting myself in those positions to learn what I need to know for what I'm doing now.
Ken, let's shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about radionics. You have created some products using radionics fields. I'd like you to explain what radionics are and the products that you've created with them.
Okay. Well, radionics is an old school word for what people like myself and Tom Palladino and others are calling scalar energy. There's a lot of different names for this energy: orgone, chi, prana, tachyon energy, 0-point energy. But essentially what it is it's superluminal light. It's photonic energy that travels far beyond what we've been told is the speed of light, and it has really, really weird properties. And it essentially is zipping through the cosmos. It comes out of the centers of galaxies, and it's spiraling and it's branching as it goes. And that branching scientists call fractaling. But so it's traveling through the cosmos, spiraling and branching, and as it does this, it's relayed throughout the cosmos, and it passes through matter because matter is mostly actually empty space. Maybe not empty space, but it's mostly space. When you look at atoms, the actual particles that compose the nucleus and the electrons are very small and very far apart, relatively speaking. So this scalar energy flows through those spaces, and it slows down and coagulates into the matter and energy that we can see and measure. And so I've been a student of quantum physics since I was a teenager, and years ago I was studying Tesla's work, and he had developed something called a personal oscillator. And so I took his work and other people's work and kind of combined it and wound up developing a digital circuit that can create this energy, and then experimented with it to create various frequencies, including a frequency called the Schumann resonance, which is a pulsing in the Earth's atmosphere that relaxes and de-stresses living organisms. And so I wound up coming up with this little portable device that you carry with you that I call the stress shield, and that will, the brain and the nervous system and the cells of the body will entrain with its pulse, and it will slow you down and de-stress you and relax you. And it also, this scalar energy, because it can create matter and electromagnetic energy, it can also alter it. And so it will structure electromagnetic energy that's harmful to us and restructure in a way to make it less damaging. Basically, it makes the waves, which are normally bouncing all around us, within a scalar field of this device, those waves all become parallel, which is called coherence. So that's kind of the basic concept of this energy. And I know you've now got a device, from what you were telling me, that sounds like it has a really strong scalar field that has some really interesting effects, which I'm sure we're going to talk about.
I do things with a bang.
So I got into that, and then I wound up increasing it and increasing its abilities and creating pyramids and using minerals and different materials in it, and ultimately wound up developing a device that will clear chemtrail pollutants and nuclear fallout for a 75-mile radius, and it has other side benefits as well. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time working with this technology. This one's very interested in yours.
So, all right, well, cat's out of the bag. Might as well talk about it for a few minutes. I've been pushing the envelope of consciousness for over a decade, and everything I've ever created has always been in software form with water. Where you put your attention, you can send the intention to. And I have access, the way I perceive reality, to vast databases of information that I don't necessarily understand. But when the timing is right, they kind of take cohesion and form so I can understand them. So maybe in the summer last year, 2015, a friend gave me a device that spawned a really cool idea. Create something physical so people can enjoy an experience like they never have before. Now, with all the products I create, it's all about, I give you a box, a tool, and with a very limited instruction set. I do that on purpose because I don't want to bind you to, or put chains around it. I want you to be that child in the box. You know, I want you to explore. And you know, the Aquaware line of software has been very, very successful because people take the tool, they think outside the box, and once you get hooked, you can really do amazing, beautiful things with it. Been doing software a very long time in my professional career and in my private practice. I needed something that would make a bang, and I got the idea, and the plans were downloaded into me, and the HFA was born. It's called the Harmonic Field Amplifier, and it is a new way to travel. And I've done a couple videos on this device, and you can see it here. Let me just adjust the camera. I'm sorry this thing is really polished, so it's kind of hard to see, but this is the top part of the device. It's 3.5 by 3.5 inches. It's about 6 millimeters wide, 6.5, about the size of an iPhone. And you'll notice that we have the golden ratio formula. In the middle, we have a clockwise spiral. All the way around the four sides, we have a silver inlay that helps create the field. And on the bottom, we have a counter-clockwise spiral with the 7 sisters of the Palladium star system. Now, what does all this mean? I get impulse to build crazy things all the time, and the idea came to me that, you know, people travel in their cars all the time, and their experiences, you know, aren't what they should be. So the idea behind the HFA is to put this device in your car, and you link it by putting your attention on it and on the car, and it links the device, and it takes all of the energy that is non-harmonic in your personal body, in your light body, and of course in the car, and it washes it through the 0 point, which is this clockwise spiral. Now, you know, the 0 point's a buzzword. It's been around, and you know, everything I talk about is really, in my opinion, and my experience. I've had vast experiences that I've allowed to create products that change people's lives. And in my experience, the 0 point is a balance between two universes. And let me explain this. Science is just starting to understand that there are multiple universes out there, an infinite amount of universes, and the 0 point is the connection between them. And the only thing that is constant in all these universes is matter, density of matter. So if you can give something to that universe, you can receive something back. So in the case of the HFA, what we are doing is we are pushing energy that's non-harmonic through the 0 point, and it's returning it at the speed of thought on the other side. So I just finished just shy of 3,000 miles in a rental car with my son, utilizing 2 of the prototypes. And I had no expectations. Well, kind of. I had a few, but and my personal experience was completely mind-blowing. And I will share some of the things that I experienced. After about 2 hours of linking the HFA with the vehicle, I experienced a sense of completeness while driving. Now, I've driven the worst highway in America for 20 years. It's a 30-mile stretch called I-684 in Westchester County, New York, and it's the American Autobahn. People drive at crazy speeds. There's accidents all the time, and there's a tremendous amount of road rage, so it's something that I'm used to. I've seen it before. And on this drive down to the south, after about 2 hours, this calmness came over me, and I can't describe it. It's indescribable, so words really pale. The only thing I can say is it was calm. Everything is as it should be, and then everything became very vibrant. Now, I've talked to people in personal sessions before. Sometimes when you go to sleep, there's these colors start to pop up in your conscious mind, colors that are so vivid you can't see them with your physical eyes. And it's that state of mind and that feeling that came over me. Now, some things that I noticed about the vehicle, okay? The gas mileage was off the chart. When I first started on this voyage, we clocked in on a full tank at 340 miles, 320 something miles. It said on the little below the odometer. At the end of the trip, on a full tank, was 557 miles. Okay, that's just on the gas mileage. Other things, the stereo sounded amazing. A rock the size of a golf ball came out of nowhere and hit the windshield at an angle that made a noise like that. Nothing. Not a crack, not a dent, nothing. That was really crazy. I found myself being very calm while driving. People were cutting me off. They were speeding. I was doing the speed limit, 99% of the time. Maybe a little less than that. But there's still more testing that's going to have to go on. I got the first batch is coming. I actually received the first batch. I have a larger batch coming that I'm going to be passing out to some beta testers, so we'll be acquiring more data. Now, I purposely have not put one of these in my truck yet. I'm going to be putting one in my truck, but first I'm going to get the emissions done. So I'll have some raw data, and then I'm going to link one of the HFA's production runs with my truck, and we're going to drive it for 3 or 4 weeks, and we're going to check gas mileage, and then we're going to go back. Now, I know my truck. I did not know the SUV. I can say the SUV drove very nice. It sounded great. It was a very comfortable ride. I don't drive a Nissan Murano. It was a 2016. I don't know. So it was just a road test to see what the device could do with me as the creator at the helm. Communicating with it, watching the energy fields that it creates, watching how it interacts with things, and it's magical. So these are going to be ready to go in the August time frame. Now, you talked about for a second, Tom, that this device has no moving parts. There's nothing to plug in. It's a pure design of 2 base metals. The purest copper you can get and the purest silver you can get. And the copper with the silver inlay around the side makes a great conducting field to hold that field as the non-harmonic energy comes into the top. It holds that field together, it transfers it, and then out through the bottom and displaces it again at the speed of thought. You said the field that the device must be putting out must be huge. What did you mean by that?
Well, first of all, when I first saw pictures of the HFM. HFA, okay. When I first saw pictures of it, I immediately recognized what it was. It's a scalar wave transceiver, meaning like a pyramid, like a cone, like certain structures, it is an antenna that picks up this energy that's all around us all the time, and it's coming to us from our sun and from the cosmos and also from the center of the earth. And it picks it up, and I'm guessing, looking at the structure of it, I bet you if you could take a picture of it with Kirlian photography, you might be able to see this, Peter, because I know you can see energy. I would suspect that it's got some kind of a vortex coming up out of it. And with Kirlian photography, you can actually see that, and it may be